What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is about my 1 year mark in competitive shooting, mainly USPSA. So as of the release of this video, it'll literally be a year in USPSA competition. So I just wanted to kind of like do like a little rundown about how my year went, what I feel like I accomplished, what I learned, and then the plans for 2026. So basically, I moved to North Carolina in 2016, and my best friend, who I'll remain nameless at the moment just because he's in law enforcement, so I don't want to, provide his name or info at the moment, but he introduced me to shooting, and I kind of fell in love from there, man. Like, I mean, it's, for those of you who know, like, shooting guns can be pretty fun, so I went out, got my pistol permit, which you don't really need in North Carolina anymore, apparently. Got my first pistol, which was an HK VP9, which I love. And from there, went to my indoor range, was pretty much Triangle Shooting Academy. That's where I did a lot of my classes. So like defensive pistol 1, defensive pistol 2. I did my concealed carry permit through there. So yeah, like shooting indoor ranges, I mean, let's be real, like that can get pretty boring after a while. And I wanted to be more dynamic. I felt like, okay, shooting indoor range, like, yeah, I was getting pretty good as far as like fundamentals, grip, recoil control. Triangle Shooting Academy has like the electronic targets that can like turn, and then you can do a Mozambique drill or shoot a pair or 3 shots, whatever, right? Do stuff like that. But I wanted to move, like I felt like kind of shooting down a lane was kind of boring, and then it would like kind of, destroy my motivation to get better at shooting, like if you're only just standing there shooting. So my friend has a pretty big backyard, and there was a couple of days when I went out there while he was at work, and it's legal to shoot in his backyard, where I just kind of like would run around. Okay, I'm gonna hide behind this tree, shoot a glass bottle or a can, and then I'm gonna run to this tree and shoot this, and I was like, that was so much more fun than just like sitting or standing at a lane, just shooting straight ahead. So I was like, I want to do that more often, right? So I kind of like went on YouTube and went to this whole like research as far as like, hey, like more dynamic shooting drills, like what are things you can do? And I came across USPSA and IPSC and IDPA. And I was like, oh, this is actually like a thing, right? Like you can actually compete in like exactly what I wanted to do to make shooting more fun. So I basically researched, right, like how to sign up for your first match, how to shoot your first match, because I didn't want to go there completely clueless, right? So you find practice score, sign up for USPSA, do all that stuff, find a local club, which my local match club is Go Shoot. And then I found Woody's Rifle Club, which is like here where I pretty much practice. So before I signed up for my first match, I started practicing for about a month or 2 because I didn't want to just show up there and not have any idea what was going on, and because obviously it's a step up, I should say several steps above just shooting down one lane, right? We're running from position to position, transitioning from target to target, shooting little steel really far away, like things like that. Like I didn't want to just show up there completely clueless. So I shot my first match November 30th of 2024. And believe it or not, I got squatted with Chris Tilley himself and Billy Barton. So 2 grandmasters in my first match ever, which was actually probably the best thing that could have ever happened. So to actually like shoot with them and see what the sport is about, because it's obviously not just run over here really fast, shoot all these targets, and run over here really fast, shoot all these targets. Well, it can be for you. Watching them dissect a stage from footwork to the stage plan itself, to body angles, to shooting speed, depending on the target. Like I realized that day there are so many things to consider, so many things I need to learn when it comes to competitive shooting that I was instantly hooked, like instantly. Because it wasn't just about the shooting, right? There's so many little nuances to this game. Um, so, and what actually happened was I was first in the shooting order. And I literally went up to Chris and I was like, dude, I've never done this before. Like, can I please not shoot first? Like, that would be super helpful to me. And he's like, yeah, dude, absolutely. So he actually put me last so I can watch people shoot the stage. And yeah, I watched YouTube videos about, unloading and showing clear and the make ready process. So like, I understood that part. But my first stage, how did it go? I wrote it down. So first stage, 6 mics, 2 FTSAs. And then the second stage, 8 mics, 3 procedurals, right? Nothing dangerous. I just didn't load my mags after the first stage. I was just so in awe and overwhelmed of what was going on that I completely forgot to load my magazines in preparation for the next stage. So literally in the middle of the second stage, I went to just go reload. I was like, that one's empty. That one only has like 3 bullets in it, right? And I was like, that was it. I had to stop shooting from there. But then I settled in, and actually the first classifier shot was short sprint standards. I actually got a B class run on it. Because I got a little more confident as the day went on. I knew I wasn't like a bad shooter. It just obviously, practical shooting in this sense is way more difficult than just shooting down a single lane, right? So that's kind of how I got started. Now, as far as like, why did I go on this journey? Again, like I said, I was hooked after the first match. So basically, like, sports have been my life. Since I was a little kid, man, I played several sports. I played tennis in college, and I feel like after college, I feel like I wanted to maintain that athletic pursuit of trying to improve upon something. And I tried, various things, like ice hockey. I played for years. I just think as I got a little bit older, I'm a strength and conditioning coach, so I use my hands and my body a lot for work. And I was getting all these like dumb injuries just from like unintentional contact with other players. No one was being an asshole or anything. It happens. Hockey's a fast-paced game. You run into people even by accident. Like I would have a sprained wrist, or like my back would be messed up, or my knee would be messed up. And I was like, dude, I can't like do this long term with the type of job that I have. And games are also at like 10 o'clock at night, which doesn't help anybody. So I got into golf, and I played golf since I was 13 years old. Like I'm a pretty good golfer, and I was playing a lot of golf tournaments. But even that, man, just the amount of golf balls you have to hit just tears your body up, and I'm someone who's like in like decent shape, like I would take care of my body, and I still felt it. So I realized that shooting is something that's athletic, but you don't need to be like a physical specimen to be like kind of good at it. So the last year shooting, I've had no aches and pains. My body feels pretty good. I can work out like normal. I don't have to fear, getting injured or anything like that. So in that sense, it's pretty good for me at this point in my life. So it gives me something to pursue, which I need. That's just how I am. That's how I'm built. I need something to practice, pursue, and get better at. Now, people ask me sometimes, like, when they see I started shooting a lot, right? They're like, is it expensive? I'm like, well, I mean, like, it can be. It doesn't have to be. There are things that you can do to not spend as much money, right? Like dry fire a lot, work on your fitness, are things that don't require any money, really. Is there a potential initial investment? I mean, yeah, depending on how seriously you want to take it, but I started slow, right? Like I didn't have, this whole belt rig at first. I didn't have, necessarily extended mags at first. I had a cheaper gun. I had less, target stands. I didn't even have USPSA targets. I just literally had any cardboard boxes I can find, I would just cut out a square and then kind of trace a USPSA target, just to have something to shoot at. So you start slow, you add things as you realize, okay, like this is someone I really like, someone I really want to pursue. Okay, you add to it slowly. I kind of fell in love at the start, and I realized like quickly this is someone I'm going to want to do for a long time. So yeah, I mean, I made the investment, which I don't regret. And there's ways. And as far as like, okay, let's say you are willing to spend the money. Honestly, spend money on ammunition and instruction. And I'm not saying or. So I'm not saying ammo or instruction. I say and instruction. You're going to need guidance. You're going to need people to kind of give you some sort of feedback to make sure you're on the right track, to give you a sense of conviction in that what you're doing is actually working. Be smart about your purchases. Like, for example, like here I'm shooting Canik Rival S. I have one in chrome, one in black. This is my competition gun. The chrome one is my training gun. Both of these together are about the same price, or maybe if not a little less than a Walther PDP steel frame match gun, which is like in a sense comparable to this one. So I can get two guns for the price of one, and it performs probably about the same. Nothing against Walther. I love Walther guns, but just smarter purchase. Like, I don't think I need shooting a Walther is not going to make me a better shooter. Okay, so I'm trying to think of it in that sense. Like, when you're making purchases, there are people who are winning nationals, who are winning area championships with Glocks. You don't necessarily need to have the most expensive shit. And I've seen people in classes at competitions who have $5,000 guns and are not better shooters than me at all. So it doesn't always help you, like put the money towards ammo, put it towards training, put it towards instruction. So that's why I got into it. Now, as far as how did my first year go, in general, let me read these off. I shot 23 matches. So the 23rd match is the North Florida sectional coming up this next weekend. So I'm just considering that as part of this first year's journey. So 23 matches. So 16 of them were local USPSA events. So pretty much at Go Shoot. 2 IDPA local events just to try out IDPA, which I'm not against. It just wasn't my thing as much. I would still shoot an IDPA in the future if it works for a weekend, but if I had to pick, I'll just shoot a USPSA event. One fun match, which was an all steel match, was actually pretty fun. Like, I actually had a really good time where it was literally just steel.
Are you ready? Stand by.
No, don't shoot the boat.
So that was actually fun to actually knock down like 20, 30 pieces of steel on one stage. I did one sanctioned steel challenge event, which I actually ended up winning for my division. I guess it was considered the carry optics division because the steel plates were enormous. Like, some of them were the size of refrigerators. Like, I literally walked the stages and I was like, that's what I'm shooting at. Like, I can just throw my gun over and I know I'm going to hit the steel. So I was just like going for it. There were times I didn't even see the dot in the glass. I just ding, 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 done. Would I do steel challenge again? Maybe. It's a little repetitive because there aren't that many stages for it. If you don't know how steel challenge works, honestly, Google it. I just don't feel like explaining it right now. And my plan was to not shoot any majors, but as the season went on, I was really enjoying shooting. I was improving, and we'll talk about my improvement process in a second, but I signed up for the North Carolina sectional, and then I wasn't going to shoot Area 6 until I saw that Brantley Merriam and Mike Huang's squad had an opening, so I had to do it. And I ran to the bedroom and told my wife, like, listen, we're going to Talladega, Alabama. there was an opening in basically the super squad, if you want to consider it that. I need to shoot with these guys. I need to see them in person. I need to see how they handle a match, how they shoot a match in real life, not just on YouTube. And she saw how much it meant to me. So she came with me and we went, and thank you to my wife. I love you. And that was a great experience to shoot with those two guys, to see. And again, I'm not going to get into those details. If you want to see my thoughts on Area 6, I do have a video. November to April. So because I started November 30th of last year, November to April I went hard with matches. I needed to just get that experience of just understanding how to stage plan, honestly getting over the nerves. Like now I shoot a match and like even Area 6, I didn't really feel any nerves at all. Maybe the first stage of the entire match, I was like more excited than nervous. But other than that, like now I shoot a match and I don't really think about it too much. But I needed to build the stage planning process. I needed to build my pre-run routine, you know, like my make ready routine. Okay, like how am I gonna visualize the stage? How am I gonna load my gun? When do I turn my camera on, right? Like, and that's something I'm still perfecting, and I don't know if we ever are really gonna perfect it. I got classified as C class naturally, just from shooting matches and shooting a classifier. Usually each match, Chris Tilley will have, at Goshu will have a classifier. So I got just classified as C class. Around the February to March time frame, I did a private training session with Billy Barton.
Stand by. Woo!
And he's someone I shot with my first time ever. And then I think one other time I shot with him. And then that's when I kind of reached out to be like, hey, listen, I just want to make sure these last couple of months of me, you know, being in USPSA, like, am I on the right track? Is there something I need to change? And it was great to have an actual session with him for a few hours to just ensure he just puts me on the right path. And it was, I'm forever grateful. So from there, I took a break actually, from April to August, just from shooting matches. I was still shooting occasionally and doing some dry fire, but like, this is where I was like deciding between like competitive golf or competitive shooting. So that's, you know, springtime is heavy in golf season. So I was still kind of playing golf tournaments. So I kind of took a break from competing and shooting. And then a buddy of mine said he was going to shoot an all classifier match at Go Shoot. So I was like, you know what, whatever, I'll just go. And this is about August. So I shot that match and immediately got bumped up to B class. And I didn't even shoot that much. And I was like, damn, okay, like whatever, you know, I'll take it, you know. So I threw up some like higher level B class scores. And then 2 weeks later, shot like just like a regular local match, and I got bumped up to A class. So I was like, oh, okay, all right, like haven't been shooting that much, and my classification's going up. It's just interesting how that works sometimes. How, you know, I think that proves that the skills I've been working on kind of stuck, like my fundamentals, to not have been practicing that much, yet my shooting was getting better. And then that's when I kind of started, once I realized like, okay, I hit A class, I was like, hey, all right, this feels pretty good. Like to kind of get, you know, bumped up like that. And then like fairly quickly, and then started preparing for the North Carolina sectional, and Area 6. And then my goal now is to pretty much finish strong at the North Florida sectional next weekend. As I kind of said in previous videos, but just to reiterate a little bit, my goal for the North Florida sectional is to put together what I did well at the North Carolina sectional and what I did well at Area 6, is to hopefully just merge those two concepts and have it come together at the North Florida, just to finish the season strong. And now, as far as 2026 schedule, I'm trying to shoot more majors next year and just slightly fewer locals. So March of 2026, I'm going to shoot the South Carolina sectional. April is Delmarva, which is like Delaware, Maryland, Virginia sectional. And then here, I'm going to kind of have to pick between Area 5 and Area 8 because they are within like 2 weeks of each other. So that's not just something that I can swing at the moment. So I'm leaning towards Area 5 in late July. That's actually my birthday weekend. And then probably skip Area 8 in August. And then USPSA Nationals is September. It's like mid-September. I brought it up to my wife. That's a trip we're willing to make. Honestly, because there's also nice national parks out there. But it's something I want to earn. It's not just something I want to go to. So I feel like if I shoot well next year, I shoot well at the South Carolina at Delmarva, I will feel like personally I've earned the right to go. Maybe a goal for myself is like, okay, if I make master class before I sign up for USPSA Nationals, okay, I'll go. I want to give myself some sort of goal. I don't want my skill level to be where it's at currently or the same. And then I'm just going to nationals just to go, to throw down potentially over $1,000 easily, just to go get my ass handed to me for 3 days. I want to make sure I personally earn the spot to go. That's a decision I'm going to make. October 9th, North Carolina sectional. That's something I definitely would want to shoot again. And then from there, waiting on the date for Area 6 championship, because that is another one I would want to do again. I would want to shoot my area championship. So they haven't released the date for that yet for 2026. So that might change a little. Who knows? Like, is it going to be in between nationals and the North Carolina sectional? Then that might be too much in a row. We'll see. But that's kind of my plan for 2026. I'm incredibly grateful I've gotten into this sport. I feel like it suits me well. I've met so many great people. I've made friends. I've honestly started this YouTube channel because of it. Hopefully my journey, my process is inspiring other people to start competitive shooting, or at least like just start training. I personally believe if you have a firearm, you probably should know how to use it pretty well. And my first USPSA match humbled my ass like almost immediately. But that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to kind of share my thoughts and for this last year of competitive shooting. We're just going to keep on grinding, keep on working, I have my friend coming out here in a little bit to train. So we're going to kind of get that going and keep training, keep working hard. And I'll see you guys soon.